Greetings, YouTube. It is I, Karma, coming with a quick battle from Total Brohammer here. A little 1v1 action. I, myself, am heading the Wood Elves, led by, what's his name? I was going to call him Treebeard for a second. What's his name again? Oh, fuck, why can't I think of his name? Durthu, that's the one. Big Daddy D, Durthu. So yeah, I'm heading the Wood Elves with Durthu here. I'm against Archeagio something or another. I don't remember his name, but anyways, he's heading Chaos, so let's go quick with the build. So this is my anti-chaos, anti-beastmen, anti-units that struggle with large, anti-greenskins, pretty much any army that struggles with large. This is a pretty good Wood Elf build, I think, to bring against them. So what do? You bring a couple of Glade Riders with Hagman tips. You can bring, up to 4. It depends on how much skirmishing you want to get done. But yeah, you can bring a bunch of these guys so they can ward off horsemen. They can ward off pretty much any archer because their values are, their range is really high, 150, and they do poison, so they're gonna be hard to catch. So yeah, they're a good little unit to bring in this build. I mean, they're actually critical because this build is not really focused on protecting the back line. It's focused on, okay, so you get 2 Treekin, you get a Durthu, you may bring Flock of Doom on him, you can bring a sword, his laser beam, you can bring how you want, and you bring a Branch Wraith with Earth Blood, and that spell, or that ability that increases melee attack. I think it's called like Wild something or other. What is it called? Let's see, Call of the Woods. He does get a little, whatever it's called, that spell that shoots Searing Doom, but doesn't do that great. Anyway, so yeah, you get that guy in there. You bring him with Earth Blood, you bring him with Potential Perturbadura. I think I also have a Soul Blight on there, a Melkoth or something. Whatever else, what are the other abilities I have with this guy? Come on, there we go. The Withering, yeah, Withering. So that's just to decrease armor. You bring a couple of Wildwood Rangers who aren't the best in most, or 3 of them, who aren't the best in most matchups, but with this build it's very effective. And you bring Ward Eye with Azrai Spear. So it's basically just a death blob. And units that struggle against large, it's very effective against. As you can see, it actually did pretty good damage. You can see the searing remains of, the seared remains of these Glade Riders. Wow. Look at these pretty horses. Now they're all dead. Sad. Anyway, so I'm outranging these guys. Their range is what, like 90? It's pretty awful, 80, yeah, so I'm able to easily shoot these guys. Again, the problem is you can't put them on skirmish and fire at will, so it's a little annoying. So every time I put them on skirmish and try and get them to shoot these guys, they're going to start shooting at him because they have fire at will on. So it's kind of annoying. It's a little frustrating. I wish you could just put them on, like you could put them on skirmish and take off fire at will and then have them attack these guys and then we'll continue to shoot them even though they're running away, but whatever, what can you do? And the reason we're in the woods is because the Wild Rangers actually get a bonus versus large in the woods. And the key to this build is that any cav they attack with will get mucked up by the Treekin and Durthu. You send these guys in, the Ward Eyes with Anti-Spears to deal with them. And yeah, then it's going to be, and then the Wild Rangers are going to deal with the elite infantry alongside Durthu. So it's a really effective build. There's a lot of Forsaken here, which is a smart move against Wood Elves. But as you can see, it's just that, I mean, against Wild Rangers, they are going to do so poorly. You'd think they do better, but their health is so low. So I get a nice little charge in to break up their charge. So I get Durthu in there, he just slashes through. He does have the Sarthroat Everwatcher, but he's going to be against Azrai Spear. Of course, he can just sneak right through, so it's no big deal. We're still putting these guys down, which is fine. He does have some hounds in the back. He has a lot of hounds. This is a very interesting build, actually, a very good build. He forgets these Chaos Knights in the back, but yeah, I cast something over here. Who knows what I'm casting? But yeah, as you can see, look at these Forsaken. They're dying so quickly. I get a nice Flock of Doom, it looks like, or something. Oh no, Sword of Dave. Or Final Transmutation. Oh, he cast Final Transmutation, so that's him doing a spell on Durthu, which is actually a good ability, and especially against this build, it's pretty effective. But over here, you can see they are trying to get these hounds in, but I'm gonna charge at them with these Azrai Spears and the Glade Riders, and they have such poor leadership, they'll probably flee pretty quickly. But he does get these Forsaken on my Azrai Spear, which is not good. Over here, I have the Wild Riders fighting the Forsaken. I shoot the laser beam at the or whatever his green pestilent blast. These guys. He does have a Chosen here with halberds, cast warriors rather. So they're gonna come at me. Durthu's gonna go bird hunting, duck hunting here, but unfortunately this guy's a slithery little flyer, and he's just getting around. I just can't quite get him. I shoot him in the face with my own bows, but that's okay. The Branch Wraith is here, boosting everybody. The Treekin are here, holding the fort down. He is getting some shots in with these guys, but I'm firing over there. The hounds are in the back line. These hounds are fleeing. But they did do really good damage on those Azrai Spears, but now these Wild Rangers are here. I get a nice Potential Perturbadura on these Chaos Warriors as they fight these Eternal Guards, so doing pretty good damage. Over here, Durthu's just, beating people up, putting people down. Again, my opponent forgot his Chaos Knights, but I don't know how much difference that would have made. They would have not lasted very long. Chaos Knights are just an awful unit in general. As you can see, the Wild Rangers are just beating everything that comes at them. They're a very good unit in the right situation. They're just hard to protect and pretty expensive, and they don't really match up well against other elite infantry generally. But against Chaff, they are amazing, and they're just putting these guys down left and right. This, you know, Exalted Heroes here in here fighting. Over here, these Chaos Warriors or Halberds are trying to take down the Eternal Guard. It's like a, you know, more of attrition really between two units that have really high melee defense, so it's not going to go that well for them. But you can see Sarthrel's doing his thing. He's floating around, but he's taking a lot of damage. I mean, he's doing good work. He's disrupting the lines, but he is dying. And I still have my Treekin in here. I still have my Branch Wraith. I still have a good amount of Wild Rangers. These Treekin are virtually untouched and full unit models, so when we do heal, they will go to full health. The Wild Rangers are no longer in the woods, so they don't get that bonus versus large, but over here they do. So fighting this guy is going to do well. Fighting these guys is going to do well. These guys are still shooting, so I just get a nice little, you know, whatever that's called, laser beam into them. And I am trying to shoot them with these guys who have returned after fighting those hounds. But yeah, so this is my anti-chaos build. Anti-chaos, anti-greenskins, what's the other faction? Anti-beastmen. I mean, I don't bring it all the time, but I just think it's a good build against, you know, you're not going to expect a lot of anti-large when you go, or sorry, large units when you fight elves. So it's a nice little like off-meta pick that can be pretty effective. I mean, I'm not saying it's the most competitive, but it's a fun one. You put them in the woods, it's kind of, you know, it's flavorful. It's something a little different. You know, nobody wants to fight cutty wood elf builds all the time, so this one's a little, you know, defensive, but I wouldn't say it's cutty at all. I mean, Durthu's pretty slow. Yeah, so we have been able to rout these guys off. Over here, they're almost out of ammo, and we're just going to charge them with these guys because they have silver shields. We are going to, you know, continue to fire at them with those guys. Sarthrel is, you know, doing his thing somewhere. Yeah, he's trying to, you know, finish off these Wild Riders, and he will, but he is quite damaged, and they have, at this point, they have no answer for Durthu. He does activate these Chaos Knights, but, you know, it's a little bit too late in the battle for them to be super effective. It's a nice charge. Pardon me. It's a good charge in there. He's doing some damage. But here we go. These guys are going to come in and they're going to start, you know, beating them up with their little gnarled arms and, you know, wonky hands. And then Durthu's working in here, as he's known to do, making his way slowly through. And I could sort of Daith on him, so I think he has like whatever, yeah, 0 armor. So he's going to take all that damage right on the nose, and he's just going to, you know, crumble pretty quickly. So 1 hit, 2 hits, and then I bring in the. Yeah, he's trying to get out, but that's the key to this build, is that the Treekin and Durthu have so much mass that it's hard for, you know, chariots and cav and other units that you typically expect to see against what else to get through. And as they're stuck in there, you have Eyes Right Spears, you have War Dancers, you have all sorts of stuff. Sorry, not War Dancers, you have Eternal Guard, you have Wild Rangers who will do well against cav, so long as they're, you know, they're fighting in like just a one-on-one engagement. So the longer they're stuck in there, they're going to take so much damage. And of course, Durthu, every hit he takes probably takes out a model. So I cast whatever that is. Probably an Earthblood, and that's going to start, you know, increasing the balance bar in my favor. He's going to charge in with these knights, but there's not a whole lot they can do. They won't be able to even beat these Treekin, let alone Durthu. So they're just going to flee. So they were the reserve unit. Now they're just, you know, back to reserves. So yeah, GG my opponent. Acero Amargo. I brought this build before against the Beastmen way back when, and it's a fun one. I like it. It's something a little different. You get to see units like, oh, I cracked my knuckles on Cass. That's gross, eh? Savage Sakarma. Anyways, I brought the Wild Rangers. You don't see those guys too often, so they're fun, and they got a lot of damage done. Those chevrons weren't from before, so yeah, they do really well against Forsaken, and you can expect to see a lot of. This is a very anti-kitey build. These guys are run down archers. These guys are also to run down archers and ward off Hagway tips, which they did a really good job of most of the game. These guys are probably there to take care of Wildwood Riders. So you knock them down with the hounds, and you get a charge in with these guys. I mean, that'll do really well against Wild Riders. So it's not a bad pick. They're just super slow, and of course, Weight Watchers will just melt them. These guys, I guess, in case I did bring like 1 or 2 tree units, and then obviously these guys are going to do well against War Dancers and a bunch of other units in the front line. And Sarthrel is just a terror. But yeah, it's just a hard build for Chaos to really to challenge. Even if you bring like a Kolek build, Kolek is going to do well against Durthu, obviously, but he's not going to do amazing. And if you get those Azrai Spears in there, you have the healing, you have the shooting, you have the Treekin mucking them up. And then if you're in the woods, these guys get the bonus versus large. It is not the best engagement for Kolek. And then, of course, you have healing. I think I said that already. And you have the buffs from the Branch Wraiths. So, yeah, it's a tough matchup for Chaos when you bring this build. So, yeah, don't bring it too often because it's, you know, you don't want to cheese people out. But now and again, it's a fun time. Anyways, GG my opponent. Sarah Margo, I think I said that 4 times now. Oh boy, not doing a good cast today, guys. You know what? Feel free to leave in the comments, downvote. You know, 91 Tansley Road, that's my address. Come kill me. It's I understand. All right, see you guys around the bend.